Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Devam Vishnapada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Ashtottara Sadasri Śrīmad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Beauty Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Devam Vishnapada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Ashtottara Sadasri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. जयताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories Shri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada की जय. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 23, entitled The Demigods Regain the Heavenly Planets, verse 17 and onwards. Can you repeat after me? Tathapi vadato bhuman karishyamyanushasanam Edachraya param pumsam yattava jnanupalanam tathapi vadado bhuman karishyamyanushasanam edachraya param pumsam yattava jnanupalanam. Vadato bhuman karishyamyanushasanam edachraya param pumsam yattava jnanupalanam. Tadhapi vadato bhuman karishyamyanushasanam edachraya parapumsam yattava jnanupalanam. Mataji. Tathapi vadato bhuman karishyamyanushasanam edachraya param pumsam yattava jnanupalanam. Word to word translation responsibly please. Tathapi, although there was no fault on the part of Bali Maharaj, vatataha, because of your order, bhuman, O Supreme, karishyami, I must execute, anushasanam, because it is your order, etat, this is, shreyaha, that which is the most auspicious, param, supreme, Pumsam of all persons. Yet, because Tava Ajna Anupalanam, to obey your order. Translation: Lord Vishnu, I must nonetheless act in obedience to your order because obeying your order is most auspicious and is the first duty of everyone. So who is speaking this? Śrīcharya. Now, we will continue reading verses because there are no purports to this. Verse 18, Shri Shuka Uvacha. Okay, no need to repeat because we will continue. Pradinindya Hare Rajyam Usana Bhagavaniti Yajñachidram Samadhatta Baled Vipra Rishibhisaha. Shukadeva Goswami continued, in this way the most powerful Śrīcharya accepted the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full respect. Although with the best Brahmanas he began to compensate for the discrepancies in the sacrifice performed by Bali Maharaj. Verse 19, Evam Baler Mahim Rajan Bhikshitva Vamano Harihi Dado Bhratre Mahendraya Tridivam Yat Parer Hrutam. O King Parikshit, thus having taken all the land of Bali Maharaj by begging the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vamanadev delivered to his brother Indra all the land taken away by Indra's enemy. Verse 21-22. Prajavadi padir brahma devarshir padir bhumi bhaihi daksha bhrugvangiro mukhyai kumareno bhavena cha kashyapasya prityai sarvabhuta bhavaya cha loganam logapalanam agarod vamanam patim. Lord Brahma, the master of King Daksha and all other Prajapatis, accompanied by all the demigods, the great saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, the Manus, the Munis and such leaders as Daksha, Bhrigu and Angira, as well as Kartikeya and Lord Shiva, accepted Lord Vamanadev as the protector of everyone. He did this for the pleasure of Kashyapa Muni and his wife Aditi, and for the welfare of all inhabitants of the universe, including their various leaders. Verse 22 and 23. Vedanam sarvadevanam dharmasya yashadashriyah mangalanam vradanam cha kalpanam sargavavargayoh ubendram kalpayam chakre padim sarve vibhutaye tat sarvani bhutani bhrisham mumudire nrpa. O King Parikshit, Indra was considered the king of all the universe, but the demigods headed by Lord Brahma wanted Upendra, Lord Vamanadev, as the protector of the Vedas, the principle of religion, fame, opulence, auspiciousness, vows, elevation to the higher planetary systems and liberations. Thus they accepted Upendra, Lord Vamanadev, as the supreme master of everything. This decision made all living entities extremely happy. Verse 24. Tadastu Indra paraskritya devayanena vamanam lokapaler divam ninye brahmana chanumodidaha. Therefore, along with all the leaders of the heavenly planets, Indra, the king of heaven, placed Lord Vamanadev before him and with the approval of Lord Brahma brought him to the heavenly planet in a celestial plane. Verse 25. Prapyatra bhuvanam chendra upendra bhujapalina shriya paramaya jushto mumude gadasa dosaha. Indra, king of heaven, being protected by the arms of Vamanadev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus resigned his rule of the three worlds and was reinstated in his own position, supremely opulent, fearless and fully satisfied. Verse 26-27. Brahma sarva kumarascha bhrugvadya muniyo nrupa pidras sarva bhutani siddha vaimanigascha ye sumahat karma tad vishno gayanda paramadbhutam dhishnyani swanite jagmur Aditim cha Shashamsire, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Kartikeya, the great sage Bhrigu, other saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, and all other living entities present, including the inhabitants of Siddhaloka, and living entities who travel in outer space by airplane, all glorified the uncommon activities of Lord Vamanadev. O King, while chanting about and glorifying the Lord, they returned to their respective heavenly planets. They also praised the position of Aditi. Verse 28. Sarvam edan mahaghyatam bhavada kulanandana urukramasya charitam shrotrinam aghamochanam. O Maharaj Parikshit, pleasure of your dynasty, I have now described to you everything about the wonderful activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vamanadev. Those who hear about this are certainly freed from all the results of sinful activities. Verse 29, that's going to be the last verse we are going to read because there's going to be a purport here. Param mahimna uruvikramato grihnano yap parthivani vimamesa rajam simartya kim jayamana utajata upaiti martya ityahi mandra drigrishi purushasya yasya. One who is subject to death cannot measure the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Trivikrama, Lord Vishnu, many more than he can count the number of atoms on the entire planet Earth. No one, whether born already or destined to take birth, is able to do this. This has been sung by the great sage Vasishtha. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vasishtha Muni has given a mantra about Lord Vishnu. Nate Vishnor Jayamano na Jato Mahimnaha Param Anantamapa. No one can estimate the extent of the uncommonly glorious activities of Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, there are so-called scientists who are subject to death at every moment, but are trying to understand by speculation the wonderful creation of the cosmos. This is a foolish attempt. Long ago, Vasishtha Muni said that no one in the past could measure the glories of the Lord and that no one can do so in the future. One must simply be satisfied with seeing the glorious activities of the Supreme Lord's creation. The Lord therefore says in Bhagavad Gita 10:42, Vishtabhyam idam Krishnam ekam shena sthito jagat. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. The material world consists of innumerable universes, each one full of innumerable planets, which are all considered to produce products of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's material energy. Yet, this is only 1/4 of God's creation. The other 3/4 of creation constitute the spiritual world. Among these innumerable planets, in only one universe, the so-called scientists cannot understand even the moon and Mars. But they try to defy the creation of the Supreme Lord and His uncommon energy. Such men have been described as crazy. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma, Bhagavatam 5:5-4. Such crazy men unnecessarily waste time, energy and money in attempting to defy the glorious activities of Urukrama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vichakhanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchagalpadarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutair Mahatbhir Yaima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamusha Purusha Bhungte Gunan Shodashatmaka Solankrishishta Bhagavan Vacham Sime. Hare Krishna. This is a wonderful section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam where there is the Supreme Lord, his devotees surrendering unto the Supreme Lord, and even Śrīmad, the spiritual master of the demons, gave a wrong advice to Bali Maharaj, which was not to surrender unto the Lord. Still, Bali Maharaj surrendered, rejecting his guru. After that, now, even Śrīmad is surrendering unto the Supreme Lord. In the previous verse, he glorified the potency of the holy name in an amazing way. That was yesterday's verse. Mantratas chantratas chidram. Even whatever discrepancies are there in the performance of any sacrifice or any activities, by simply chanting the holy name of the Lord, all those discrepancies are nullified. Everything becomes auspicious. Anukirtanam tava. Glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, who is Vamanadev? He became Urukrama, he became Trivikrama. We have the Trivikrama Salagram here, top left. So we have Trivikrama here. And he assumed a form extending all the universes, extending the three worlds. That's why he's known as Trivikrama, three steps by which he covered the entire universe. By two he covered the entire universe. And so, this Trivikrama, now in the form of Vamanadev, is going to the abode of his own brother. Who is the brother of Vamanadev? Indradev. Indra, the heavenly king, Indra, is the brother of Vamanadev. And so, Vamanadev is known in the heavenly planet as Upendra. So we have the Indra and we have Upendra. So we can see that now here Indra has taken in a celestial plane Vamanadev to the heavenly planet, and all other great personalities in this universe, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all other demigods, great sages, everyone is very happy seeing this. And Lord Brahma sanctioned Indra to take the Supreme Lord to his own abode. So this is amazing. It's an amazing scene. Think about witnessing this. Indra, first of all, seeing Indra or demigods in itself is completely rare. We cannot imagine, we cannot fathom. However, in the previous ages, specifically in the Satyuga and other ages, other than Kali Yuga, when there is a sacrifice, these heavenly personalities used to personally appear on earth. And all the people in the sacrificial arena were able to see these heavenly personalities. So if you go to MCG footy, everyone is watching. Similarly, the sacrifices were such a part of the life that it was the center of the civilization. If there is a kingdom, that is the center of the activities, and the king and the entire subjects would assemble, and they could see these heavenly personalities, and if the sacrifice is bigger, more auspicious, then not only Indra, but even Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma would appear. And if the king and the personalities are really great, and if they are pure devotees, even Vishnu would personally appear in the sacrificial arena. So this is the potency of such sacrifices performed in the previous age. However, the same potency is carried by the holy name of Krishna in this age. So that's why Yajne Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sumedhasaha. What is the sacrifice that we perform? Chanting the holy name of the Lord. That itself is very difficult to understand, the potency of the holy names. Now it is mentioned in this purport and in this verse, who can count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? One who is subject to death cannot measure the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why is it so? Because if we are subject to death, we have only limited time. And in that limited time, it is impossible to glorify the Supreme Lord sufficiently. We cannot go through all the qualities, we cannot go through all the glorifications of the Supreme Lord. For that, even one lifetime is not enough. This is demonstrated by Lord Ananta himself. Ananta has many hoods. He is a many-hooded serpent. The Lord Vishnu is lying on him. Ananta, with his unlimited hoods, with his unlimited mouths, is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead from eternity. He is continuously doing that. Still, he is not coming to the end of glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, we can attempt to glorify the Lord. So, he is Ananta. He is known as Shesha because there is no limit. So, that's why it is mentioned. The Lord's glories have no limit. Ananta Katha, unlimited pastimes. Ananta Guna, unlimited qualities. Ananta Rupa, unlimited forms. The Lord has everything infinite, beyond human calculation, beyond the limits of logic and reason. So that is Trivikrama, Vamana. So in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Lord Brahma himself makes this point. Gunatmanaste gunan vimatum. He says Gunatmanaste gunan vimatum. Vimatum means to count. Gunan vimatum. Can we count the qualities of the Lord? No. He's mentioned Hitavatirnasya ka Isharasya. Hitavatirnasya, the Lord who has taken as an incarnate, who has appeared as an incarnation. Hita avatirnasya ka Isharasya. Kalena yerva vimatum sugalper bhupam savakhe mihita dubhasa. One may be able to count all the atoms in this universe. That we know it's impossible to count all the atoms in this universe. But still, we cannot count the qualities of the Lord. So here it is mentioned in this verse also, any more than he can count the number of atoms on the entire planet Earth. So Brahma himself speaks the same point in the 10th canto, 14th chapter. Bhupam savakhe mihika dubhasa. Mihika, all the small particles one can count, but not the qualities of the Lord. At the same time, we can attempt to glorify the Lord. That is the purpose of life, is to attempt to glorify the Lord. Here is mentioned that even the entire creation, Vrishtabhyam idam Krishnam ekamshena sthitam jagat. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says in the 10th chapter that the entire universe is created by a fraction of my energy. Ekamshena sthitam jagat. Ekamsha, only a fraction of my energy. Whatever universes we are seeing, everything is created by a fraction of the Lord's energy. But Prabhupada contrast that to the atheistic scientists who defy the Lord and they want to understand the entire universe. Is it possible? No, because Krishna's energies are unlimited. So with limited logic, with limited reason, with limited observations, no one can understand the Lord. So it is foolish to deny the Lord. It is foolish to deny intelligence behind this creation. It's very foolish because we don't see anything functioning in a proper fashion without a creator. We never see that. There is always intelligence behind creation. There is a creator behind creation. And if we defy that, that is not very logical. And we cannot understand everything simply with our logic. Because logic in itself is material, isn't it? Logic and reason are material. It has its limitations. So it is logical, in one sense, to accept that we cannot understand everything by logic. And so we can apply logic and reason as far as we can go. Beyond that, we can understand there is something beyond just our mundane logic which is limited. If we want to know what is eternity, with logic we cannot understand. We can give a definition. No beginning, no end. That is eternity. It's a good definition that makes us think. But with the conditioned mind, we cannot fathom what is the meaning of infinite. We cannot. We can say that I am eternal. Yes, the spirit soul, as a spirit soul, we are eternal. But can we really fathom with the material logic, with the mind, what is eternal? No. Because we are conditioned to beginning and end. Anything we take in life, there is a beginning, there is an end. It can be this microphone, this can be that mobile, it can be all of us. There is a beginning, there is end. But we, the spirit soul, there is no beginning, there is no end. So how can we understand that? So if we want to realize, there is a process for that, and that is devotional service. Through devotional service, we can understand what is eternity. Because we are eternal. That is not by using the limited mind. So if you want to capture simply everything by this limited mind, we will not go anywhere. So that's why those are honest scientists. They do say that as we go deeper into any subject, we realize more we do not know. This is the reality. The more we go deeper, more unknown is revealed. This is the reality. That's the reality. It can be microscopic or it can be macroscopic. If you go in both directions, it gets more complicated. If you go to the subatomic world, can we understand the subatomic world? No. There are many theories, all glories. But did we get it right? Did we get it completely? No, we haven't. We can explore the subatomic world. We have plenty of electronics. We have plenty of technology. They are using the understanding of the subatomic world, no doubt about it. There is such understanding is there. But that is sufficient to create some technology. But the core understanding in itself is lacking, not possible. We always hit that limit. We cannot understand more. If you understand more, there will be more to know, more to be known. This is the world. And if you go beyond, if you go to the macroscopic world, if you go to the planets, the universe, again, we are limited. How far can we know? We measure distance based on light year. How do we know how much is that distance? If you are talking about 100,000 light years away, what are we speaking? It takes 100,000 years for the light to travel from a planet to here. So how far can we know? How much can we know? So there is so much. So the attempt of the devotees is not to understand all about God's creation. Rather, our aim is to utilize Lord's creation in Lord's service. That is possible. Even we cannot know Krishna completely. Can we know Krishna completely? No. We can know as He has revealed, as He will be revealing to us. That's all. So Prabhupada said, in one sense, you don't need to know Krishna. It's not about how much you know about Krishna, but it's all about how much you love Krishna and how much you serve Krishna. This is the reality. That is the aim of devotee's life. We understand as far as we can, as far as our realization allows. That is fine. But we can try to engage ourselves in Krishna's service. Today is the disappearance day of Ishwarapuri. Yes, the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ishwarapuri is so glorious. Why? Why is he so glorious? Exactly. He is the spiritual master of the Supreme Lord Himself. Can you imagine who can be the guru of the Supreme Lord Himself? Ishwarapuri accepted the position of the spiritual master of the Supreme Lord. So this is glorious. As a service, we had to understand, as a service. And Ishwarapuri instructed Lord Chaitanya to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra as the departure of his father. Lord Chaitanya visited Gaya. He performed Shraddha in Gaya, where there is Vishnupad, there is the lotus feet of Vishnu. After that, he manifested his devotion. He became ecstatic seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. In that visit, Lord Chaitanya accepted his spiritual master as Sri Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri instructed Lord Chaitanya to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He said, you don't have the qualification to study Vedanta. You don't have the qualification to study Vedanta. This is what Lord Chaitanya told the Mayavadi sages in Varanasi. He said, my spiritual master told me that I am a fool and you don't have any qualification to study Vedanta, so you simply chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Vedanta Krit Vedavideva Chaham, Bhagavad Gita says. He is Vedanta Krit. He has written Vedanta. His spiritual master told, you don't have qualification for Vedanta, but who is Lord Chaitanya? He is the Vedanta Krit. He has written Vedanta. Vedavit, he is the knower of the Veda. So this is the position of the Supreme Lord. But Guru instructed, you are not qualified to study Vedanta, rather you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Indeed, he chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra and then returned to his spiritual master. He said, I am chanting this mantra, but by chanting this mantra, I am becoming almost mad. What can I do? Am I doing the right thing? Usually we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Usually we take the beat after some time. First time someone introduces us to chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we take the beat. We go chant for some time. Nice. And sometimes we say, yeah, I don't know whether it's working or not. That happens sometimes. I'm chanting for some time. I'm not sure whether it's working or not. Prabhu, I'm chanting for 2 years. I don't know whether it's working. Mahaprabhu, in a few days, he went and approached his spiritual master and told, I don't know whether it's working. I'm becoming mad. Ishwarapuri became very happy hearing this from Lord Chaitanya. He said, this is the perfection of chanting. One becomes mad in ecstasy. This is the perfection of chanting. A mantra sar. This is the essence of everything. And he quoted this verse from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, 11th canto. Evam vrata supriyam nama kirtya jata anurago vrata cheta uchai hasatya toro ditiraudigayat tyunmadavan nrityati loka bahya. He said, Evam vrata supriya nama kirtya. This is devotees. This is about talking about great devotees. They chant the holy name of their dear Lord. Jata anuraga. They have developed love for the Lord within their heart. Then they don't care about the external world. They chant, they dance, they laugh, they cry. They may do all these things in perfect love of Godhead. Loka bahya, not caring about this external world. So these are the symptoms of pure devotional service. And Mahaprabhu manifested this. And so his spiritual master, Ishwara Puri, became very, very pleased. So we can see the greatness of Ishwara Puri. He acted as a spiritual master of the Supreme Lord. And how did he obtain that position? By chance? No. He obtained that position by his sincere service to his spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri. Whole life he served his spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri, and especially the time in which Madhavendra Puri was about to leave this world. We know this pastime. There were these two disciples of Madhavendra Puri, Ramachandra Puri and Ishwara Puri. In spiritual ecstasy, Madhavendra Puri started trying to cry in his deathbed. He was crying. He was crying. Can you imagine? So when he saw that, Ramachandra Puri, he started preaching to his spiritual master. He preached impersonal philosophy. What did he say? Why my spiritual master is crying? Why my guru is crying? He should come to the platform of equanimity, neutrality. Why is he crying? He should understand there is a oneness of Brahman, the impersonal Brahman, the spiritual oneness. And on that platform, there is no duality, there is no sorrow, there is no happiness on the material plane. So there is neutrality. So why are you crying? So he preached in this way. Why Madhavendra Puri was crying? Madhavendra Puri was crying in separation from Krishna. This is not ordinary. This is beyond the material dualities. This crying has nothing to do with material happiness or misery. He was crying for Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani and other gopis. That is the mood. Ai Dina Dayadranatha He. He was crying like, Ai Dina Dayadranatha He. Oh Krishna, Dina Dayadranatha. You are the friend of those who are wretched, suffering. He was crying in this way. And Ramachandra Puri couldn't understand. Madhuranatha kimalokya se. Hridayam tot aloka kadaram daida brahmyati kim karomyaham. What can I do now? He was speaking in the mood of the gopis in Vrindavan who were crying for Krishna because Krishna has left to Mathura and then to Dwaraka. So Madhuranatha. So now he is in Dwaraka. Krishna is in Dwaraka. So the gopis were crying for Krishna. So in the same mood, Madhavendra Puri was crying for Krishna. So he was in spiritual ecstasy. So that crying was not ordinary. And he was thinking, my disciple, I am already suffering because he is feeling separation from Krishna. And on top of that, my disciple is preaching impersonal philosophy. How unfortunate am I? This was Madhavendra Puri was thinking. And he rejected his disciple. You go away. He told Ramachandra Puri, you go away. You don't come near me. At the same time, Ishwara Puri started serving Madhavendra Puri, understood his mood and started serving. So all the way through, Ishwara Puri served Madhavendra Puri, and Madhavendra Puri departed from this world. So Madhavendra Puri was very, very pleased by the service of his disciple, Sri Ishwara Puri. And because of that, because of the blessings of the spiritual master, he was able to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his pastime as his spiritual master. So this is the greatness of Ishwara Puri. And today is his disappearance day. See? So it's a very, very auspicious day. And this time, I will take to remember one of our dear devotee passed away from this world. Her Grace Yamunalila Mataji. Glorious departure. And we see that, we can see direct mercy of the spiritual master to start with. Everything, if you see how everything was orchestrated to go back home, back to Godhead. I remember I heard the news in the early morning that Mataji is not doing well at all. So we had the initiation ceremony Sunday morning, and we're taking different Maha items to the hospital, and I was here because of the initiation ceremony. And I was thinking, oh, Mataji is so unwell, but 7:40 I got a call from Jagannath Ram Prabhu. Prabhu said, Mataji wants to take darshan of the Lord. So immediately I came down. From phone I showed the darshan, calling live, and lucky Bhaktiman Prabhu was there. I told Bhaktiman Prabhu, after the offering, take the mobile phone, show the whole, I was telling, show the lotus feet, show everything. And she took a complete darshan of the Lord. And then Tulsi Devi, and then Prabhu also told, okay, let's go to Prabhupada. Went to Prabhupada, was showing the lotus feet, removed some flowers so the lotus feet can be seen, and Prabhu took the lotus feet and put on Mataji's head in this way, and then showed some initiation. So from morning itself, I was thinking, Mataji was preparing, and the Lord was arranging everything. And she got the mercy of all different great personalities. So amazing is that. His Holiness Vedavyasa Priya Maharaj, he mentioned in his lecture in Bombay, he was giving a lecture, he was giving the sannyas initiation to Kamal Lochan Prabhu. And he was telling, as we are giving this initiation, Mataji is leaving or left the world, and the amount of service that Mataji has done, and the amount of service by which she brought so many people to Krishna consciousness, that is equal to a sannyasi. So this is the position of a devotee, wherever the devotee is, because of the dedicated service. Her own Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he came on call, and we were there, and Maharaj was leading Kirtan, first led the Kirtan, and gave the final instruction to Mataji. And Mataji is fully conscious, and she was hearing everything and nodding the head. Now is the time. First is, we are talking about pleasing the spiritual master. Here, directly we were witnessing how the spiritual master is pleased by his disciple. Because Maharaj was telling, I am very pleased with you. I am very grateful for all your service. Now is the time to offer your body, mind, and soul, and family, everything at the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is the instruction to perform the final pure devotion service, because that is the entrance to the spiritual world. So pleasing the spiritual master and following the spiritual master. And we can see how Guru is pleased, and we can see what's the destination, very clear. And we can see other great personalities. Bhurijan Prabhu spoke to Mataji before. And Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was aware of the situation. He was praying. And I messaged to Devamrita Maharaj. He said, immediately he responded to me, yes, I am praying. So in this way we can see all the devotees were praying. Own Guru is pleased with the service. And on top of that, we were trying to get Janananda Maharaj to the hospital. Yogeshwara Govinda Prabhu was mentioning, please speak to Maharaj. We are telling his servants to take Maharaj. So our desire was, let Maharaj go in the morning and let Maharaj see Mataji and give his blessings and instructions. We were thinking like that. But it so happened that Maharaj couldn't go in the morning. Maharaj told me, I was speaking to Maharaj, Maharaj was telling, look, I cannot go now. He was telling, actually Maharaj was also not so well. He didn't have much sleep. He said, I can do it after some time. Let me take some time, then I can come. So can we see this? How things are being arranged, how things are being orchestrated. And then Maharaj is getting late and late. But when the exact time came, Maharaj went there and the devotees were telling, the kirtan, soft and deep kirtan, Maharaj was performing for Mataji, soft and deep. And it was going deeper and deeper. Can you imagine? Because when a pure devotee is chanting, that is so powerful. I used to think, in this kind of situation, one should be in Dham, because we can see. And then I started thinking, the Dham is already here. Tirtha is already here, because Tirthi kurvandi tirthani swantastena gadabhrata. Tirthi kurvandi tirthi is already there. Pure devotee is already there. Then that is a tirtha, that is a holy place. And there, Maharaj started chanting, and then, to everyone's surprise, in about 30-40 minutes, and Mataji removed the mask and, chanted Hare Krishna, basically. So can you imagine? And from there softly left the world. This is pleasing the spiritual master. How? By dedicated service. A life of dedicated service. So this is the assurance that Srila Prabhupada is giving. In front of our eyes. We have seen before also. We saw the episode of Prana Prabhu. Prabhupada is showing us that this process works again and again. And if we follow this process, we will get the result. So we don't need to worry about the result. That is the principle. We don't worry about the result. But if we follow the process, Krishna is assuring that this is working. And Lord is in charge. And it's a time of sorrow, great sorrow, as Ramananda Roy says in the Ramananda Roy Lord Chaitanya Samvad, that the greatest sorrow in this world is separation from the devotee. He says, Lord Chaitanya asked Ramananda Roy. I remember Yamunala Mataji speaking about this here. Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Roy Samvad, Mataji speaking here, I can still remember. And the point is, that is the greatest misery, that is the greatest sadness, that one feels separation from the devotee. But at the same time, on the perfected platform, yes, that is entrance to pure devotion service. This is entrance to the spiritual world. So we have to see both sides to it. So when such a glorious entrance to the spiritual world, it is mentioned, even the demigods are rejoiced. Even the demigods are rejoiced. We can read in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in the journey of Gopakumar. One time when he was in the heavenly planet, he heard a resounding celebration. And he asked, what's really happening here? So the demigods there said, there is a big celebration. Even the demigods are celebrating. Why are they celebrating? They are celebrating that one soul has broken away from the clutches of this material world and is going back home, back to Godhead. So in that way, they were having a celebration even the heavenly planet. So we can see the two sides. On one side, we can see the very, very sad situation And on the other side, we can see that how glorious it is. So this is Krishna consciousness. We can see both. And that is the reality. And that's a reminder for all of us that we have to serve Krishna and we have to try ourselves to be out of this bodily identification. Because we are not the body. Prabhupada, even in his deathbed, gave this instruction, saying, I am not the body. Don't cry for the body. Prabhupada gave the instruction even to the last minute. Because we are in bodily consciousness of life. And we have to get away from that. And it can happen only naturally through sincere devotional service. Because Mataji excelled in whatever service she performed. Whatever we take. To start with, in deity worship, she was dressing Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra so amazingly. I started noticing, I was thinking, whenever she dresses, I know who has dressed. I take this and I know this Mataji has dressed. So that's how it is excelled. Interesting. In Śrīmad Bhāgavatam classes, the festival as well as the Acharya appearance day classes that she would give, it's so amazing. And with all the details. And not even looking down on the note. A continuous flow. So it's an absorption, sign of absorption. And all the children's program that she did. So many. For so many years. She touched the heart of how many children? We don't know, thousands. As a Shastric teacher, Mataji did excellent job in teaching Bhakti Shastri. She could do 3 batches, I still remember. She taught 3 batches of Bhakti Shastri. And I had to say one thing. She used to say, after the first batch, she was teaching the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So I told Mataji, when I was speaking to Mataji, I told her, Mataji, you can teach the middle 6 chapters. So she was happy. This is the main devotional section of Bhagavad Gita. I said, Mataji, do it. So Mataji was very happy. And after that, next time come, and I told Mataji, I don't have a teacher. You teach the same 6 chapters. He said, no, Prabhu, give me something else. I said, no, you teach the same thing. So Mataji said, okay, one more time. And after some time, I asked again Mataji same thing. Can you please the same middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita? And Mataji did that. So I was thinking, so it looks like Krishna wanted her to just simply focus on the devotional service. No need to speak about anything else, but just speak about pure bhakti from the middle 6 chapters. So she excelled as a teacher. All her students loved her. In organizing, conducting Bhakti Vrikshas. Jagannath Ram Prabhu and Mataji, they restarted Bhakti Vrikshas in 2005 or so, 2004, 2005, around that time. We can see that. So, how many Bhakti Vrikshas happened? How many Bhakti Vrikshas they did? So, amazing service in terms of preaching. That's why Vedapriyas Maharaj said, in bringing people to Krishna consciousness, this life of a sannyasi, no less in any way. That is the instruction of, and the teaching of Srila Prabhupada also. One who is serving the Lord in that capacity, there is a Grihastha sannyasi, they are all on the same level. So we can see this glorious life of great devotees right in front of our eyes, and we can take inspiration from that and try to serve Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there any questions or comments? Yes.
Prabhu, when devotee loses his spiritual master halfway through his journey of spiritual, so what is next step? When a devotee loses his spiritual master.
Loses his spiritual master, yes. Yes, we are living in this material world, and so we will lose our spiritual master's physical body, right? But the spiritual master lives in his instructions. So there is Vani Seva and there is Vapu Seva. Vani Seva means serving the instructions of the spiritual master. Vapu Seva means serving the physical body of the spiritual master. So, both are important. When spiritual master is alive, we serve both Vapu and Vani. But when spiritual master is not alive in the physical body, then we serve the Vani. I was recently speaking to one devotee. I was speaking to actually Harinamananda Prabhu. So we were discussing, because his spiritual master has departed from this world, and I was understanding the situation. So you mentioned a very good point, that once the spiritual master goes away, it is very clear we are following the instruction or not. So we had a discussion about that. I thought it's a very interesting point. So when the spiritual master is there, even if we are not following the spiritual master's instructions, still the spiritual master may say, okay, come along. He knows that we are not following everything properly. Still, out of the compassion of the spiritual master, he will tell, okay, come along. Can be near the spiritual master to do a few things, etc. Even may not be strictly following. But when the spiritual master is not there in that capacity, then it is very clear, are we really following the spiritual master or not? Because we now have the instruction, and it is very clear, are we following the instruction or not? So for a disciple, it is very important to be connected with the spiritual master through the instructions of the spiritual master. So that is there always. Is that clear?
No, halfway through his spiritual life,
yes.
What direct guidelines?
Okay, so point number one, still the instructions of the spiritual master remains, even if he leaves. Lectures are there, personal instructions will be there. So instructions are still there. And then if we need further guidance, which all of us will need, we need to take such guidance from other gurus, other senior devotees. So they are called Shiksha Guru. So one is Diksha Guru, who initiates us, that is Diksha Guru, and there is Shiksha Guru. So we need, now also we may have our spiritual master, we take guidance from Shiksha Gurus here. Similarly, even when spiritual master departs, we had to take Shiksha, we had to take instruction from other senior devotees. In that way one can navigate the spiritual life. Is that clear?
But you cannot have another spiritual master.
One can have Shiksha spiritual master, not Diksha, because Diksha is only once in a lifetime. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any further questions or comments? Okay. Grandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.